Hello, welcome. This is the 7th edition of these sessions. And today we have the great pleasure to have Juan Marcos Aguirre Vergara. I think it's all that. Juan is coming to this guest speaker series to talk to us about how to create and maintain and support and host a group, a practice group. And this is something that a lot of people ask about and a lot of people want to have and sometimes don't know how, or, you know, it will be nice to hear experiences from other people. So today, we only have Juan Marcos, even though I advertised also Jose, Tomas, and Viviana, but only Juan Marcos could be with us this morning. And Juan Marcos, a little bit about him, he is a psychologist. So he works one-on-one with people. He's also a facilitator and he's a consultant working with organizations. And he has been working with SPT since 2017, where he did his first basic program with Daniela Colli-Ferraz from Brazil. And since then, he and this other two people have been hosting this group. So this has been about 2 years by now. So we're very, very excited to hear all you have to share with us, Juan Marcos. And as we all know, this is the conversation. So he will tell us a little bit about it. And the idea is that we start kind of, you know, noticing what questions come up for us and start the conversation. So, you know, the idea is that you come out from here and form your own groups. Well, at least get inspired to form your own groups. Okay, so that's it. Juan Marcos, please tell us whatever you have prepared, and then we'll start the conversation from there.
Okay, I'm so happy to be here with all of you. It's a real pleasure, and we are very grateful with Mary about this opportunity to share our experience with these two groups, the English speakers and Spanish speakers in this afternoon. Well, I write down some things, but as Mary said, it's really more interesting if we can fastly move on a conversation as the topic we are joined together this morning here about how to host a group. I was talking with, well, the first thing I would like to share with you that this process was inspired by the ULAB process. All of us were part of the program. All of us did the entire cruise, and I have the experience of being ULAB host. I did my first experience in 2015, and it was in January, maybe the first edition, and in September was the second, I think, and we started to form some groups for study, for make the course together in Chile. I was one of the hostess, and we have maybe 7 or 8 people meeting together for all the sessions and doing the practices and doing the regular course together. And this was maybe the seed from that it's going on now. Well, as Mary said, we inspired for that. When Arawana sharing during the course about the SPT, I said, oh, wow, this is something interesting here. And we invited Daniela Daniela from Brazil to come to Chile in January of 2017. And she bring us the basic course, 3 days of experiential training deep into all the practices of SPT. And after that, we started to meet and to deep into the practice of being together, sharing this practice. And this was without a clear intention, but with the intention of deep into the process, deep into the practices, and have the experience of sharing what we each of us learn during the basic course. Well, I was talking with Mary that maybe it's one of the piece of success that's all of us, the main 3 facilitators of the group, have past experience on body work, from dance, from theater, from other backgrounds. Maybe I don't know, and meditation. I am not saying that it's necessary a must, but I think works for us, that we feel confident about facilitate experience with body awareness because our background. And other things interesting that the group of practice is open. Anybody could come. No, there are no requirements. There are not. If someone wants to join the group, it's open. And also, other thing interesting, we offer the chance to facilitate any exercise during the meeting to people who did the basic train. And for this reason, it's very flexible and we have a wide range of experience. We have a wide range of facilitators sharing their own way to understand and to feel and to lead each of the different exercises. And this maybe give a good taste of how, for example, the village could be experienced from different perspectives. Well, also there are a lot of people who comes that has done the ULAB course, maybe because it's the point of starting, and some of them did the Presencing Foundation program in Boston and in England, and it's also, I think, one of the things that has nurturing the experience of the group. Maybe this is one of the things. The group is open. It's not rigid. It isn't about us. It is about the space we are building together. And from this perspective, when we said is something we build together, everybody is invited to share their own seeds for the fields growing with different flowers, different flavors, different. I think this is one of the keys, the capacity to hold a permanent space, but with the flexibility to share the leading of this space. We have been so lucky because of that, maybe, because Laura Pastorini comes to Chile and comes, of course, to our group of practice. And this year, Carol Saar also came to the group. everybody wants to join the group of practice. Because it has been a really good experience. One other thing that I want to share about the group is we always, in each session, we have a basic structure. We always did maybe 10 minutes meditation. Then the 20-minute dance is every time we meet, we start with that. A short check-in after, and then it's open. Sometimes we talk with the other facilitator. How do you feel the day? How do you feel what is needed for today? What do you want to share today? But we don't have a program. We don't have a structured program for the year, for example. We don't have planned our sessions. We just be open and flexible about how each of us feels the day or the day before to share during the session. And that is also one thing that maybe keep the experience focused in the present time. It's not about something we plan 2, 3 or weeks or months ago. It's about how do we feel today to share in the group. Based, say, in the experience of using the SPT practices. This is another important thing for us. We don't do anything outside the SPT practices. Yeah, we focus. The group is focused on the SPT practices. Maybe in the meditation we can experience different flavors. Buddhist meditation, Sufi, but focus on body, mind, emotion, awareness. But the exercise are the stack, the village, the coaching circle, the 20-minute dance, the 4D mapping. We don't did any outside. We don't mix with other experience or other body practices. No, we try to keep the space clear for the SPT. For us, the group of practice is about deep into the practices, deep into exercise, deep into the feeling and awareness and wisdom that come from this exercise. It's also about a build of space, of social space, but we focus on the quality of the space, on try to build a safe, kind, free space for everybody. Free, it's for us. It's about free of being. The people also said that they feel and they felt during the experience free. It has been really interesting for us to listen that wow, I really feel free to move as I want, as I need, to do what that's I think one of the most interesting qualities of SPT practice, that it's a framework, but it's a lot of freedom within the framework. And we try to keep this during the sessions, a framework, but with full of space full of ma, you know. Maybe Mary has speak about with you about the ma. We really deep into the ma experience of the silent, empty space of creativity. We really have been deep into the experience of that. Also, it's about build community. It's about strain our bonds, strain our relations, support each other, make it accessible, give the opportunity to everybody to share deep and with no restriction how they feel, how what they need, etc. And it's about learn from each other. It's not about any of us or the facilitators and the group. No, it's about all of us. It's about it's a learning process for all of us. Everybody in the group is a mirror for an opportunity to learn of ourselves. And maybe for me, the most interesting thing is we have built a really safe space. People join us without any before experience of SPT, and really easily come into deep experience of themselves, of their body awareness, the emotions, and the feedback is, I felt a good container. I think the one of the main objective of when you think about hold and sustain a group of practice is to understand that it's about build a container, build a space that people felt safe. Okay. What the people said about the experience is about is surprising about the body wisdom. The most the people feedback is, wow, what can I learn if I pay attention to my body? If I pay attention what I need, but from the source of my body, from the source of my emotions, from the source of my feelings. It's it's the body information and the social body information. That's the other. I was focused on the individual experience, but I would like to talk about the social experience. One of the most amazing experience during the process has been working with the village. It's a very simple exercise, but during the time, it's very interesting to see how different can be each experience. The energy of the experience, the movement, the emotional feelings, and sometimes you can smell something. You can it's experience that have flavors. The experience was sweet. It's got really interesting how based on this safe container, the people can come into the village experience with freedom, with trust, with the open heart to see what happened and to live what happened. And well, maybe Viviana will share. No, but I will share. We have two experiences when young people come. One a kid about 11 and one in the 20s, and both of them said, "Wow, never feel this kind of freedom." No, but with a deep emotional sense. They say, I never believed that I could be really safe and free in a group of adults, in a group of with other not knowing people, you know. That's something interesting also. I think the most, for me, maybe the challenge we have now is how we can bring this space we have built to other places. This is one of the things that I'm working now in myself. How I can take this experience and bring to some other. I have done some experience outside the group, but the experience of a long process is something, it's like a treasure, you know, that we have to learn how to pick the thing we have there to move to other places. Well, I don't want to extend more in talking about how long it takes.
It was,
Less
it
than
was
20
great.
minutes.
Thank you, Juan. Yes.
Thank you, Juan.
Yes. Thank you.
Could you tell us just a little bit about the logistics?
So I have.
Yeah, that's very interesting. We are very lucky. We are very lucky because we always have the chance to use for free and space. The first time, because one of the attendees works in a yoga center, and now because Tomas, the other one facilitator, is the owner of a yoga center, and we use the space for free. And that's also another interesting thing. We start not asking for money to the people who attends, but now, since this year, we start for asking some to make it sustainable, to pay for the place, to have money for offer some drinks, and to pay our transportation. I don't live in the city, I have to move to the city to offer the space. It's not about get money, but it's about making it sustainable. Something else, Denise?
How often do you guys meet? Once a month?
Monthly. It's a monthly meeting.
And how long?
3 hours.
3 hours.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
maybe it's 2 hours of practice, and we have 1 hour after sharing, etc. You know, but it's about 3 hours, the full meeting.
Okay. And did it ever happen that you show up and nobody shows up?
No. we have the experience maybe with 2 people, but never nobody comes. Once a day we have to suspend.
Okay.
But it was just one time in 2 years.
Wow.
Because nobody of us could really. We planned the session, but we finally cannot be there.
Because the facilitator is going to be
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Okay.
Other thing, we have a WhatsApp group. Everybody who joins the group, we don't make any publicity. We don't make any nothing. It's just how do you say in English? Boca a boca. It's just
Word of mouth.
Yes.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, how do you publicize? How people find out about it?
We don't.
Okay.
We don't. The first times we publish in Facebook. We are starting a group of practice of SPT. No, a few people understand who it was that, but no, it has been growing organically. It's about people. One tell me I was interested. Yes.
Wow.
So how many people would typically come month to month?
Oh, from 5 to 15.
Great.
Yeah.
And what else is coming up?
Well, the movement to ask money was a really interesting process. Was for us, for the people. Some people don't feel comfortable. Why you will start now to ask for money? It's a process. It's a process. It was interesting for us also to make the decision, how to make the decision, how many people involved in the decision, and start with the decision and keep on this. It's not expensive. We offer 2 chances for people who decide how much they can pay for each session.
And for that, you organize something that people pay you before, or they pay you as they show up?
During the session, or after they send us a transference.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. And
but we are not asking for the money. We just say, remember, you have to pay and nothing else.
So are they paying for the year, for a few months at a time, or just each session?
Each session.
So what have you seen the impact? And I don't know if you've been doing it long enough.
The impact
of
where
adding that.
in us, in the group, or
Both.
Both. Well, for me, the most important impact is the space we have built, because it's not about me, it's not about Viviana, or it's not about any of the facilitators. It's about the space we together has built for others to join us. Yes, this, I think maybe it's not easy to understand, but it's a real concrete experience. The people feels that they are coming to a space that has some qualities. This is one of the impact that these things, that it's I think from my experience, the quality that invite people to be part of. Well, and this space offer the people the chance to deep into themselves, and this is the personal impact, to have the chance to have the opportunity in a safe space to see themselves from the body perspective, and understand, for example, when we do a stack exercise, or we do the mirror work of body awareness or body movement, I don't know, the duo
Duet.
is the name, the duet, yeah. of the duet experience, how I feel with someone else, is a learning space. But it's a learning from the body and from the social space. The impact for me, wow, is to really deep into myself and really deep into my understanding of holding space or facilitating and be in service of something greater than me. Well, maybe I have this approach because I come from the experience of be piece dances. I don't know if you are familiar with Sufi dances or dances of universal peace. I have been leading dances for 20 years, and the dances is also about that, about create and host and sustain a sacred space. But, you know about Rupert Sheldrake? Do you know about Rupert Sheldrake, the biologist? He speaks about the morphogenetic resonance camp. That is what I feel. We have built a morphogenetic structure. The people could come into this. Yeah, you know, when the birds are flying together, it's the similar as the birds can join this movement. Yeah, you know.
And so, do you notice along those lines of Shannon's question? I was curious also if you notice a change in your own work, like the way you hold spaces in different places, and different than before doing this.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, sure. Because the bring into my facilitator role the body awareness and the social field awareness. That's maybe the most important thing, that be aware of the quality of the social space, of the social field that it's happening. And I say it's something sometimes you can smell, you can feel, you can, yes, it's really interesting. It's a Arawana said, it's a really new field of exploration, a field of research, you know. What is this where we live all the time, this social field?
Yeah. So what I'm hearing you say is you guys did first You Love, and then you did the basic program in your town, and then three of you decided to start a group, and then those people came, and then they call other people, and you never had to publicize anything, and you just show up.
Yeah.
And so that is a very different experience that a lot of people, I have to say, people in the advanced program, that part of the training is actually holding a group practice, and it's really hard. Some people are having a hard time even like getting to have a group all together. So that is interesting, kind of like a starting point of how to create a group. What are other people's experience? Like, have you tried to create a group yourself, or are you thinking about? I would like to hear from some of you guys. What comes up when you even have the idea of hosting a group?
This is my group. In my experience, we also came to SPT through ULab, and we hosted ULab in our healthcare organization last year for the first time, and we're going to be hosting a hub again this fall for the second time. But we're a very large organization that's spread out geographically over a large area. So where I live, there are two other people, one who's a hub host with me and the other one who was a participant last year. We haven't talked about whether we might try something with SPT, but maybe after today I'll approach them and see what they think. I'd love to.
Nice. We've done our work, Juan Marcos.
Yeah. Well, Denise, feel free to reach me and we can talk.
Thank you.
I just one thing. I think we have a clear intention.
Clear intention.
We have a clear intention. What is and what it isn't this space, and we have been rigorous on keep that.
That's important.
It's not about us. It's not about earn money. It's not about show up ourselves. It's not about, it's about to deep into the practice of SPT, body awareness, the group development, etc. And we have been really clear about this main purpose. For that reason,
I would feel more confident if I could do the SPT basics again. And Annie and I participated together in one at this time last year, and it was fabulous. Yeah. And it was also very small. So I would love to be able to do it again with a bigger group of people and a more varied group of people, because in the group that we did it with, many of the people knew one another already. So I know there's another SPT Basics coming up in Boston in November, and I did send an email, Mary, to ask if there was any possibility of a reduced rate given the circumstances, and I haven't had a response. So I don't know how you and your co-facilitators felt, Juan, after just doing the SPT Basics. You felt confident enough in the various practices to just go ahead?
I feel that in this group, we only have you and Annie that have done the basics. So nobody else has done a basic yet. But these people, you guys are coming every Tuesday. Like I was saying the other day, even I didn't show up one time and the group still happened. So you're coming. I feel that, yes, having a basic is definitely a very good beginning. But I think specifically these people that are here, have a lot of experience because we have practiced a lot in here. And so I think that at the same time, one characteristic, one kind of, I will say flavor of hosting a group is this idea of learning. It's almost this co-learning experience, this co-creating experience. It's almost as if, oh, hello, I'm going to open the door to go play together. So it's, I'm learning with you. I'm not, I'm not a teacher. I'm not even, I'm using this as much as I can, and I'm interested in learning, and I need other people to learn because this is not an individual thing. It's a social thing. Yeah, so I think that's also part of the invitation and part of where we stand when we do this, and then you do have a sense, you do have a basic, basic in the sense of basic knowledge, basic in your own body as well, for those of you that haven't done a basic in person. So I think you do basically have a lot to start something if you wish to do it. And then you learn as you go. And then, that might actually take you to do a basic in one point. And then you just keep building up, but it's not that the only way to do it is only having a basic. In this case, if somebody just saw, you know, a lot of people, they just see the videos in the ULab and then they start something. And that's okay too. It's just, you know, everybody is kind of like premature children. Start where you are.
Yeah.
Something happens.
It's the right place.
Yes, exactly. But I really like what you pointed out, Juan Marcos, the intention. Like, what's the intention? Why do I want to host this? Like, for example, the intention that you mentioned, like what it is and what is not a space that will, you know, create this kind of experiences. And just with that, a question, you just go kind of research in a way. It's like, just start the group and see what happens and what you learn. So what else comes up?
What else? Yeah.
So for me, I felt that the posture of the facilitator or the group of facilitators is essential. It combines the intention with the openness, the open heart, open mind, and the open will, yeah, to allow for anything to be. And that's what I heard. And that's, yeah, what I find from my attempts to put this into practice and from my practice along with a group of people. Actually, Shannon and Annie is also, we are part of a group that recently Annie joined us, but we've been doing it weekly for, I lost track, more than a year. And so by practice, and I could make, you know, connections from your sharing, Juan, to some of our practices and how we would come to our practice, which would be online, different from on site, and we would put into practice the theories and after reading and learning from SPT concepts, and not only, but from seeing the videos, and how when we connect deeply with ourselves and we are totally available, we can go deeper and deeper. So what really inspired me is to be more and more in that space of no agenda, open space, open mind, freedom, and clear intention.
Yeah.
So that's what I take with me for going even deeper with our practice in the online practice that we're having. And I like what Mary also said, that it's the practice. And if that gives any feedback to Denise, is after the theory, it's practice.
Yeah.
And by the practice is where we develop deeper and deeper connection with ourselves, and playfulness, creativeness, and doing things, new things every time. So that's what comes to me.
Thank you, Rowena. Monica, do you have something?
Yes.
Gracias,
Juan Marcos.
May I say something?
Oh,
Sure.
yes, please.
Yes. It's also about keep it simple. Not try to do anything. Not try to do nothing else. Is keep it simple. Do the meditation, do the 20-minute dance, do some exercise. You don't need, we have done this 3 exercise, well, several times. It's always an opportunity to gain new experience. Yep, sorry.
Thank you. Yes, it's true.
Thank you. Yeah, muchas gracias. Thank you for all that you're putting into, and It's very interesting because I'm about to promote to open a group for like the end of this month or the next with different tools, but I was delaying it and I was feeling that maybe if we delay it more time and now what you're saying and what everyone's saying here, it's like trust. If you have a clear heart and a clear intention, just trust that it will be enough. And
Yes.
I take with me this, and I take with me the organic growth part, because a friend told me you have to invest 4,000 pesos in Facebook and you have to do this. And I was like, so overwhelmed. And then it's like, no, what if that's how we make changes in the world? We start with 2 people and then they become 5 and then they become 10. And maybe one of those goes to another space and opens up a new thread, because maybe the ones that we're here, we're not separated. We're just threads that are weaving, right? So you give me, a lot of hope, and certainty, and thank you. Thank you for your experience. And I don't know, I guess one question I make to almost every person I know is, if you could say something to a person that's younger than you, that's barely starting, what would you tell them?
Yeah. Well, just do it. and trust in the process. Yes, and trust in who you are, where is the place where you are starting, and as in the experience, start from yourself, from your inner experience, and from this space share what you have learned, and keep it simple. Our dance teacher always say the same: keep it simple, just one step by step. The most powerful dances of Moshe-san was one keynote and move to the right, move to the left, move to the center, back and to the outside. Nothing else, and keep the mantra. And we have to find the mantra for SPT.
Thank you.
But yes, and honor the the wide space, honor what is happening all around you. This group, the other groups, the whole you love movement, honor that, and bring this to your own experience. Bring all, that's what, it's the same thing that we do with the dance. We honor the any leader who's sharing the dances all over the world and starting a new circle of dances. We honor that. We in the same way we can honor this process, the process you will start, honor that. Yeah.
Thank you. And briefly, I just want to add to the, also like, because it happens to me, I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm at the level of teaching this to other people. And I do, sometimes I do lose my why. Why am I doing this sometimes? Sometimes I go, I should be doing this more. I should like do this or do that. And now I'm in Neuquén, which is in La Patagonia in Argentina.
Yeah.
And this Thursday, somebody, like the person that organizes, she got me to go to the TV here to talk about this. And so she sent me yesterday a video of somebody, she also, she hosted somebody teaching mindfulness. So she took her to the TV channel also. And so she sent me the YouTube, and I go, I just press click, and I go, it's it's a whole TV thing. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to say there? And so it's like, I feel that it always comes back to what's the thing that moves me from these practices. And And one more thing is, like, sometimes when I don't find it in me, because let's say it is in me, but it's somewhat buried from myself, I find it in reading. For example, I'm starting to reread the Leading from the Emerging Future as It Emerges in Spanish, because I haven't read it in Spanish. And so I'm finding tons of inspiration in, like, maybe a chapter that I read. So, and that, the last thing that I found was what is SPT doing is actually activating the wisdom in the field, in the social field. Activating the wisdom in the social field. And when I read those words, I went, yes, that's what I want to do. I want to activate the wisdom in the social field. So, and that's the thing that kind of now is getting me going. So that's, I guess, what I'm trying to say. What are the thing, even if you don't find it in you, what else can you do to find the reason why you will invite somebody to that? And the other thing, one more thing, the one thing that gets me from everything is, like, we're gonna explore. That's how I started doing SPT online. We're gonna explore this. It might make no sense at the end. We might say, forget about this, this makes no sense, and we're gonna drop it. But that's the thing that I found, that people just come along because we're all in the same place. We're exploring. Instead of saying, I'm gonna give you something so that you can do, I'm like, well, I wouldn't wanna go to that, for example. So that's another thing.
It's the mood of the pioneers, you know, the explore new territories.
And if it doesn't work, well, at least we know now that it doesn't work. So I just want to ask Annie if you have something, you have a lot of experience doing SPT, and before we close the time.
I don't think I have that much to add. I'm just so inspired. And, you know, and I've had my starts and stops and tried different formats. And, you know, and just as I've gone along, I think I can say I've just learned a lot. And I started out really programming everything. We've got to do this and we've got to do that. And then learning that, you know, that it's a much more organic thing, and that, like you say, Juan Marcos, that just a few simple practices go a long way. And I'm always astounded, like when we do a group stuck, you know, what comes out. And and I'm really interested too that you say the 2 hours of practices and then an hour of sharing or something like that. 'Cause I think I haven't left enough time for really sharing, you know, whatever the timing is, because so much can come up. And even after just the 20-minute dance, you know, like that whole thing of freedom. And so I've had to learn as facilitator not to, like, rush along to get my program done, you know, make, you know, that sort of thing. And yet then the last group I did, it was like this amazing number of people showed up because of, you know, sort of an odd thing that happened. But also in that kind of a situation, I had enough experience that I could just go with the flow of the group. And that felt so different and like it really activated the field in a way that I had never seen before. So I think also as a facilitator, I've just gone through a lot of stages. And I've tried also a group that I just asked people to commit for, you know, 5 weeks. And I've tried that, and I've tried the open, and they both have their positive things. So I think it's you know, I like what you say about keep coming back to yourself and what works for you also, and where do you feel comfortable or motivated. Yeah, so those are some things I've experienced.
Well, thank you, Annie. Thank you, everybody. I think we reached the time. Any last words, Juan Marcos?
No, well, it's really interesting to share because it give me another perspective also about what is happening. And please be confident to reach me anyway by email or WhatsApp. It's a good way to talk and to keep in touch, and I will be happy to extend this conversation outside this moment.
Thank you.
And so grateful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's end as we usually end, with like coming to a moment and really thinking of the us that came to this meeting an hour ago, only an hour ago, and the one that is sitting right here, right now, and just see if you could connect with that bridge, with that transition, with that space, and what word comes up. How are you feeling now? Different than how you felt, and what is that you're taking with you in one word or one gesture or one sentence, and then we share, and then we end. We close like this.
Love and hope.
Do that again.
Yes, love and hope.
Love and hope. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you, Mary.
Let go, let come.
Let go, let come. Thank you.
Opening a new channel.
Opening a new channel.
Mine is unfurl, like a bud opening. Unfurl.
Unfurl. Yes.
Mine is inspirational.
Inspiration.
Inspired.
Thank you.
Mine is happiness.
Happiness. Thank you.
Yeah.
For me, what I feel different than when I came, it's how it became more clear, the power of intention. I mean, that it got a little more power, the power of intention.
The power of intention.
So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Juan Marcos, again, for showing up and sharing with us. And
Bye.
see you
Let's
next
keep in
week.
touch, please.
Yes.
You're an amazing group.
Thank you so much.
So next
Bye-bye.
week we have
See
the
you. Bye.
interior condition. Okay, so bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Gracias
Bye.
a todos. Gracias, Mary.
Ciao.